Right, something else I want to talk about as well, following on from Marcus Rashford, Manchester United's player of the season. Now, get your thoughts in the comments as well. Who is your player of the season? I've got 4 names here that I think it's between. Actually, I'm going to add a 5th onto that.
A 5th?
I think it's
Maybe
between
Luke Shaw is involved, surely.
Rashford, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Luke Shaw, and Bruno Fernandes. I think they have been United's best 5 players this season.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Feel free to bring in any others, but I can't see a world where anyone could. Scott, I'll start with you. Who would be your pick for United's player of the season and why?
I mean, the easy option would be to say Rashford with the goals, and whoever a pick it isn't to take away from any of the rest, because they are definitely the best 5 players. But for me, considering the sort of criticism that he got before coming to United and saying that he couldn't play that position due to his height, go Short Kings. And,
how much of that is playing in there? You know, he's 5 foot now.
Yeah, and then and he's just been phenomenal. And you got that injury. Best centre back for the season for me, by far, Lisandro Martinez. And I was so thankful to see the injury wasn't as bad, because remember we were doing it on air, the watch along, that it wasn't as bad as we were expecting to, and he should hopefully be back at the beginning of next season. But just that sort of pit bull energy in it, and he's more than raw aggression as well, because his through ball, his passing and stuff is really good from the back, and he's just changed that sort of whole mentality across the back. And especially he complements Varane's style so well. So for me, love what Rashford's done. Casemiro will be up there, but I think the suspension sort of, and he came back and not really hit the same sort of form after that. But yeah, Lisandro Martinez, I just think he's been an absolute godsend.
Yeah, I think just a few stats on Martinez, obviously sort of standout bits. His pass completion is exceptional, in the top sort of 20%. His tackles is in the top 9%. His blocks in the top 4%. So defensively as well, he's doing the business, and he's not just someone who is, you know, good on the ball, but then he lacks defensively. He's got those defensive numbers, and then his through balls are in the top 1%. His dead ball passes top 9%. Like his switches are in the top 20%. Like he's someone that on the ball is just phenomenal. Like his tackles and interceptions are in the top 13% of all defenders in the top 5 leagues. So he's someone that is fantastic on the ball, successful take-ons, top 3%. Like he's just brilliant, and then defensively he backs it up as well. He's exactly what United needed, isn't
Just remind me how much it actually costs.
I think it was 45 million.
Half a Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
in height and money.
Yeah, exactly. In every aspect.
And triple the player.
He could have broken out of the chest of Harry Maguire, like some sort of mech. That's why Maguire's quite bulky, because it's just Martinez wearing a big suit.
Is that like
just went,
what do you drive around a Maguire?
Yeah, exactly. Just burst through the chest of Harry Maguire, this like sprightly, small ball-playing centre-back. I think that's a decent shout, to be fair. Who's your player of the season?
Oh my days, you know what? Martinez is so good.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning it, and I don't know how to really explain it, but I think like Martinez, he's made us so much better as a team. It's not just like, if you talk about players on their own as a defender, there's other players that are better than him, one-on-one defenders and stuff. Yeah. But what you bring to a side to make them so much better, I don't see any other defender in this league who comes into a side and makes them so much of a better team. He has made us so good, it's unbelievable. We're able to compete with the top teams when he's in the side. Obviously, you need your Casemiro in there as well, and he's very close. Yeah. If they were all fit, I would have them, all 3 of those players you've mentioned, Rashford, Casemiro, and Martinez, all on the same, and I'll cut that whatever it is in thirds, and I'll give them all a little piece, because they're the 3 that are Man United this season. They're what they've done. And again, Rashford, because he's had even though he's had such a great time in the season, he's had periods where he's been quite quiet. Casemiro, he's been so great, but he's had periods where he's been suspended. Martinez, he's had such an amazing time. Then he gets injured and he misses out. So they've all missed out a little bit, which brings them back down, and they're all similar levels. But Martinez, in my mind, he just sticks out. He's just an amazing defender. Yeah. For all the reasons you just mentioned. Through setting up the first pass through the lines, the timing of that pass through the lines to the midfield to allow them to have time on the ball to then go and give the attackers the ball with time. That's the major difference we've been missing since he's been out. Yeah. That's why we don't really get as many chances. And we were winning like 3-0 every game, 2-0, 3-0,
3-0.
Yeah, that's why. You invite the pressure. Now there's space in the middle. Yeah. Then he pops
Even
it right
with no
through.
striker, we were getting 2s and 3s.
Yeah, because Varane hasn't got that in his game. Varane's cool, defending wise, but he hasn't got the passing in that Martinez.
Well, for the last up until the Chelsea game, we said it before the game, but for the last 10 weeks, which is roughly how long Martinez has been out. He's not been out for quite that long actually, but that spell, we've scored less goals than anyone in the Premier League until the Chelsea game. So I don't think that's a coincidence. For me, I think it's between Martinez, Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes. I think he has to be mentioned because there's part of it where it's like, it's not his fault that people aren't scoring the goals that he should. Like he should have 20 assists this season. I think he's got 11 or no, I think he's got 15 or something already. I should double check that actually because it's obviously worth getting that right. But he's created more chances than anyone in the Premier League this season. He's consistently United's most creative player. 12 goals, 15 assists in all competitions. He's someone that I think without him, yes, obviously we struggle with that Martinez, we struggle with that Rashford, but I think it's an equally big drop when Bruno isn't playing. I think also his availability is this staggering skill that you never get given a skill, you never get given credit for playing. You never but the fact that he plays every single minute of every single game, every single week is so massive to having that continuity and that consistency of play style. And then his numbers are unbelievable. Like just compared to other midfielders in the top 5 leagues, compared to other players in the Premier League, his expected goals plus assists, basically the goals and assists he should be getting, top 1%. There is no one better, basically. His shot creating actions, how many chances he makes for others, top 1%. Like he's just at the very peak. Assists, top 7%. His non-penalty goals, top 15%. His progressive passes, progressive carries, touches, progressive passes received, all in the top 20%. Like his numbers for making chances are unlike anyone else's except Kevin De Bruyne, basically, in the entire league.
Why is he never mentioned in the conversation alongside Kevin De Bruyne? I wonder if it's down to his behaviour on the pitch. Obviously, a lot of the time when people are talking about Fernandes, it isn't about his ability on the ball. It's usually about his moaning. You see a lot of Gary Neville talking about it. But when you look at just purely at the figures and the performance on the pitch, you're talking about is Rashford underrated. But in comparison, you never hear Fernandes being mentioned alongside the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. I'd say he's a better player, but if he's just underneath, there's no one. His number two's got to be Fernandes in that position.
I think it doesn't help him that we aren't winning trophies, or we are, but not winning. If we won the Premier League, he would get a lot more of that, I think. And if we had a striker who was even matching their expected goals to goals, let alone overachieving like we've seen Haaland and Kane do this season, you would see a lot more praise for him. Because I think he's capable of a 20 or 15 to 20 assists Premier League season in that sort of Henry, De Bruyne style. I think we could do that. Like just some more of his numbers here, just his passing stuff per 90, expected assists, key passes, which is a pass leading directly to a shot, passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, which obviously are generally the most difficult passes. His progressive passes, his long passes completed, his just short passes completed, medium passes completed, like all of the passes completed, everything are all in the top 10% of midfielders. Most of them are in the top 2 or 3%. Like it's unbelievable. His through balls are in the top 2%. He can just do things that most players can't do. And I think if you put, like I said, Kane or Haaland in this team, I think he would be clearly our player of the season, unless it was them.
Yeah,
I think he's not been let down, because I think that's harsh and he's had bad games himself. Yeah. But I don't think we're seeing his full potential in terms of his creativity because of the players in front of him not doing what they should be doing.
That's so true as well. I think the only difference when you talk about the De Bruynes and even like the Odegaard this year, he's done really, really well. I think they're the three who are the top in that position. But the difference between those three, I think Bruno obviously stands out in terms of chance creation. But then there's the other side where it's can you keep the ball for the team under pressure as much? Who does it better out of them three? Bruno's at the bottom of them three when it comes to that.
Yep.
But that's where it is. He creates loads. And then obviously you've got De Bruyne winning things. And that's the difference. Is if he can cut out those times where you just think, what are you doing? Little times. But it happens quite frequently if you racked it up throughout the whole season. And that doesn't happen with them other two. But then you don't get as many chances with the other two either. So it's a thing, which one do you like the most? And I think creating the chances is great. It's amazing. But you also, to reach that next level where you're going to control games, you got to bring that down. And he has brought it down a lot. So I think we're going to see him improve even more in that side. And then no one will have anything to say. Now he's just going to be free ahead of everyone when it comes to chance creation.
Can we give a shout out to most improved player of the season if it's not Marcus Rashford?
Luke Shaw?
Luke Shaw, that's what I was going to say. I think he's been brilliant because it felt like his career was dead and buried, and the season has been like Lazarus at Manchester United. He has, hasn't he? Like,
unbelievable.
I think when Malacia came in and he had that little burst of energy and played the first sort of 2 games and Shaw got dropped, Shaw could have easily taken that and thought, right, I've got the hump, and thought, right, my days are numbered. But he's not, he's taken it on him and then really, solidified not only the left back, but then when he was needed to come along and done bloody good at it as well,
And obviously we shouldn't finish this conversation without mentioning Casemiro, just a player in a position we've needed filling for probably close to a decade.
Since Carrick days, so long.
And he's come in and been unbelievable. I genuinely think if it weren't for those 8-game suspension, and I think he looked slightly rusty after the second suspension, he would be right up in that conversation as well. But it's good that we've got 5 players who aren't all the goalkeeper fighting for player of the season, isn't it? Get your thoughts in the comments as well. Who is your Manchester United player of the season?